Welcome to this course, Basic Functions in Pocket Series Handheld Thermography Cameras. In this course, you will learn the following contents: General Settings, Temperature Measurement Settings, Image Settings, Capture Settings, Capture Images and Videos, Local Albums Management, Course Review. The first part introduces general settings in Pocket Series cameras. There is a swipe-down menu in the Pocket Series cameras. In the Live View interface, you could swipe down to call the menu. Tap corresponding icon to enable or disable Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, hotspot, screencast, flashlight, auto-rotate, and dark or bright mode. The correspondence between icons and functions is shown below. When icon is highlight means this function is enabled. You could also tap the brightness icon and drag it to adjust the screen brightness. A Pocket Series camera has a built-in LED supplement light. The LED light is not for thermal. It lightens the scene for the visual, for your eyes, and for recognition when you see captured images in later time. This is helpful in bad lighting conditions. Typical applications are pipes behind the ceiling where there is a narrow entrance, exposed water pipe out of the house, heating tubes under the floor. You could swipe down to call the swipe down menu and tap the flashlight icon to turn on the flashlight. A Pocket Series camera has an auto rotation function for using it into different orientations. In some application scenarios, the camera couldn't include the target you would like to measure temperature or capture when holding the camera horizontally. At this time, you could enable auto rotation, then rotate your camera 90 degrees to meet the application scenario. There are two ways to enable this function. Swipe down to call the swipe down menu and tap the auto rotation icon to enable auto rotation. You could also tap the settings icon to enter local settings, device settings, auto rotation to enable function. Auto power off function is designed for saving power energy. There are 7 options: close 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and 60 minutes. When the parameter is set as close, if you haven't pressed the power off button, the camera will not power off until the battery is dead. It will automatically power off. If you would like to save the camera's power, you could set this parameter to a specific time, such as 10 minutes. If you don't operate within 10 minutes, the camera will automatically power off. You can enable the auto power off function by following these steps. Tap the settings icon to enter local settings. Select device settings, press arrow to enter submenu. Select auto power off, press arrow to enter submenu. Tap the small circle on the right to switch among the 7 options. Time and date are more or less important in an electronic device and in thermography cameras as well. They are symbols showing when images or videos are captured. They would appear in file's name. The steps to set up the time and date are as follow. Tap the settings icon to enter local settings. Select device settings, press arrow to enter submenu. Select time and date, press arrow to enter the submenu. Separately edit the numbers of time or date by rolling the bar. Time could be set to 24-hour or 12-hour format. The time and date in camera may lag for some reasons. The date may be shown as the year 2000. 2 typical cases are as follow. Case number 1. A new device. Case number 2. Left unused for several months. The battery responsible for the system clock may die. For this reason, we suggest monthly charge the camera. Several tips to recover the button cell. The first, charge the camera with a supplied USB-C to USB-A cable. The type of cable USB-C to USB-C cannot charge the camera because it's not recognized by the camera. The second, please keep the camera alive and charging for 10 hours. Charging camera can charge the button cell and then keep the cell alive. Temperature unit is a preferable option. You could modify the units of temperature and distance according to your needs. The default unit of temperature is degrees Celsius, and you could also modify it to degrees Fahrenheit or Kelvin. The default unit of distance is meters, and you can also modify it to feet. Here are the steps to change the unit. Tap the settings icon to enter local settings. Select device settings, press arrow to enter submenu. Select unit, press arrow to enter submenu. Separately set the unit of temp or distance by tapping the small circle. In the second part, we will introduce the temperature measurement settings. Let's have a look at measurement tools. The temperature measurement tools are designed to allow you to obtain the temperature of set spots, lines, rectangles, and circles while observing the heat distribution and capturing. Only hot, cold, and center spots are supported in Pocket series. You can use the measurement tools by following these steps. First, you could tap the menu in Live View interface. Second, tap the measurement tools icon. Third, tap hot, cold, and center spots. And also you could tap hot, cold, and center spots again to delete. The last step, tap back to save and exit. Here we need to note that the max, min, and center temperatures are displayed on the left top of the screen. Emissivity is a very important property in the Pocket series cameras. The cup stays on the desk for a while. Two tapes on the cup should be in same temperature, but why do they show in different colors in the thermal image? After learning another HMTT basic course, you would know both material and its surface roughness decide emissivity. As we introduced in HMTT Basic Thermography Camera Fundamentals, emissivity is the capacity of a surface to emit heat. Viewing angle can also affect emission and reflection. For the case of two tapes on the cup, tape materials are different. Users can check common material emissivity values in the camera user manual or search on the internet. For setting emissivity in a Pocket series camera, the steps are below. You could tap the settings icon to enter local settings. Measurement settings. Emissivity. There are some emissivity of common materials in your camera setting, and you could set the emissivity by tapping the small circle on the right of the corresponding material. For the emissivity of materials not mentioned, you could tap the small circle on the right of Custom, then set the emissivity in Custom setting. Reflections are always present in thermography work. It is important to determine what is a reflection and what is a real high-temperature spot. Reflection depends on surface material, temperature of object, surface roughness, surface patterns, cavities, grooves, degree of oxidation, and also the viewing angle. Reflected temperature is an important parameter inside the camera to give a reflection a temperature value for calculating the real temperature. Let's see how to set reflected temperature. The first step, you could tap the settings icon to enter local settings. Measurement settings. Reflected temperature. And next, you could directly input temperature value. Tap the tick icon to save the setting. Please be noted if any object not the target of high temperature is in the scene and the target emissivity is low. Set the reflection temperature as the high temperature to correct the thermography effect. Now it comes to distance. In the actual operation, when using the same camera to measure the temperature of the same target, we find with the change in distance affects the temperature measurement result. So the distance parameter is required, which is used for temperature calculations to account for attenuation due to distance. To change the distance parameter, the general steps are as below. You could tap the settings icon to enter local settings, measurement settings, distance. If you would like to measure the target's temperature roughly, you could tap the small circle on the right to set the distance as near less than 1 m, middle 1.0 to 3.0 meters, far more than 3.0 meters. If you would like measure more accurate, you could tap the small circle on the right of custom, then set the distance in custom setting. Minimum focus distance is a critical parameter in product design and restricted by the design lens. This parameter is available in product datasheets. The min focus distance of the Pocket series cameras is 0.3 meters, 0.98 foot. It could be understood as the minimum focus range of the camera. When the actual distance between the camera and the target is less than this distance, the image is blurred. In Part 3, we will introduce the image settings of the Pocket series cameras. Image modes. For the Pocket series camera, it has 5 image modes to suit your preferred view: thermal, fusion, PIP, blending, visual. Fusion image mode displays a special image effect. The object outlines are overlaid on the thermal image. Both thermal and visual lenses work in this mode. Caution: the outlines may not perfectly overlaid with the thermal distribution because the two lenses are at different positions. The camera needs to know how far the object is from the two lenses. This is similar to the distance parameter for temperature measurement. As a separate concept, the parameter name in camera is called parallax correction. Knowing parallax correction, the camera can align the fusion image effect around at a given distance. PIP image mode displays fusion image overlaid on the visual image. It is short for picture-in-picture. In this mode, the camera displays thermal view inside the visual view. Parallax correction is also effective in this mode. For the touch screen of the Pocket series camera, you can adjust the PIP mode according to your actual needs. Adjust the digital zoom of PIP. Adjust the distance to make better fusion of visible and thermal views. Adjust the size of thermal view. Knowing parallax correction, the camera can align the fusion image effect around at a given distance. In blending mode displays the mixture view of thermal channel and visual channel. When selecting the mode, you could adjust the level to 25%, 50%, or 75%. The higher the value is, the higher the proportion of thermal channel. Knowing parallax correction, the camera can align the fusion image effect around at a given distance. Several steps to set up image modes. You could tap the menu in Live View interface. Tap the image modes icon. Tap thermal, fusion, PIP, blending, visual icons to switch the image modes. Tap back to save and exit. Palettes aims to transform the white and black into colorful image to meet different application scenarios. There are 8 kinds of palettes in the Pocket series camera, including white hot, black hot, rainbow, ironbow, red hot, blue hot, fusion, rain. Now let's learn how to set palettes. You could tap the menu in Live View interface. Tap the palettes icon. Tap the icons to select a palette type. Tap back to save and exit. Level and span is also a very important function of the Pocket series camera. Level and span modes, which contains 3 approaches, manual, automatic, and one tap, can help you instantly improve image contrast and highlight potential problems. Level refers to the overall temperature value, the upper limit minus the lower limit. A wide span gives less detail and a narrow span offers more detail in the image. Span refers to the upper and lower limit, such as a temperature bar with a maximum temperature of 29.5 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 14.5 degrees Celsius. Let's learn about the auto and one-tap level and span. The default level and span mode is auto level and span. It will auto to adjust level and span with algorithm recommended image. When you are interested in a specific target in the scene, you can use the one-tap level and span. The following are the steps for setting level and span. You could tap menu in Live View interface. Tap the level and span icon. Tap the auto level and span icon to switch auto level and span. Tap the manual level and span icon to switch manual level and span. In this mode, you could press the target or area you would like to focus on. There will be a small circle on the screen and this area will be clearer. Besides, the level and span on the right side will change with the temperature distribution of the area you click. In captured images, information overlays by default. For the Pocket series cameras, the following information overlays can keep and remove. Time and date. Parameters. Brand logo of Hike Micro. Display settings is related to the information on the captured photos. You could tap the settings icon to enter local settings. Display settings. To toggle on or off those settings on the captured photos, such as time and date, parameters, and brand logo. In Part 4, we will introduce the capture settings. In the Pocket series cameras, there are 3 capture modes. First, capture one image. Second, scheduled capture. You could set the time interval between to snapshots. It could be set to any time interval from 1 to 60 seconds. When you capture in Live View, the camera will capture images according to the set time interval. If you press the capture key again, the snapshot will stop. Third, continuous capture. You could set the continuous capture amount from 2 to 9. When you capture in Live View, and the camera will capture the set amount of images continuously. The following steps are how to set the shooting mode. You could tap the settings icon to enter local settings. Capture settings. Capture mode. To select capture one image, scheduled capture and continuous capture by pressing the small circle on the right side. In scheduled capture mode, press arrow to set the internal time. In continuous capture mode, press arrow to set the capture amount. After edit before saving is enabled, text note can be made to the image after capturing it. The text note could be checked on the details page of the image. Now let's learn how to edit the captured photos before saving. You could tap settings icon the location settings. Select capture settings, press arrow to enter submenu. Toggle on the icon to enable edit before saving. Press the capture key once in Live View to capture image. Then tap the text note icon to do text note and enter the editing page. Enter content on the software disk and tap the tick icon to save text note. Tap the save icon to save the image. Please be noted. The function only works when the capture is set as capture one image. You could see the text note on the details page of the image. Macro lenses can be used on Pocket series cameras. Using a clip-on macro lens, you could see details as small as 500 microns and allow you to take accurate temperature readings on small objects, such as components on printed circuit boards or assemblies. When using, please keep the lens 30 mm away from the target. We can use macro lens by following these steps. 1. You could install the macro lens as shown in the figure. 2. Tap Settings icon, the location settings. 3. Select Capture Settings, press arrow to enter submenu. 4. Toggle on to enable macro mode. If a special square symbol appears in status icons on the upper right corner, the macro mode has been turned on. Let's see the default settings in macro mode. There is a summary in the table. Please note when using macro lens, the firmware version could be newer than v5.5.5 build to 20511. When macro mode is on, the default settings take effect. The previous settings are remembered by the camera, and the emissivity will change to 0.91. This value is good for checking PCB. Users can change it in the settings if they want to measure other materials. When macro mode is off, the settings rolls back to the previous ones. When the macro lens is mounted and the actual distance is correct, temperature measurement accuracy are described slightly differently into ranges. ±3 Celsius degrees or 5. For Fahrenheit degrees in the range from -20 Celsius degrees to 100 Celsius degrees, or minus for Fahrenheit degrees to 212 Fahrenheit degrees. ±3% in the range from 100 Celsius degrees to 150 Celsius degrees or 212 Fahrenheit degrees to 300 Fahrenheit degrees. We will now take a look at the visual image resolution. When you set the image mode as visual or enable the save visual image, the visual image could be captured and you could see the visual image resolution on the details page of the image. You could set the function from local settings, capture settings, visual image resolution, and tap the small circle on the right side to choose the visual image resolution you want. In Part 5, we will introduce capture images and videos. To capture radiometric images, the general steps are as below. Scan objects during inspection and find potential anomalies. Adjust image modes, palettes, and level and span for good image effects. Select the capture mode as required. Set the edit before saving as required. In the live view, press the capture key to capture snapshot. The following steps are how to save full-size visual images. You could set image modes as visual or you could enable the save visual image. Select to set the visual resolution as need. In the live view, press the capture key to capture. Now let's learn how to record MP for videos. You could set the image settings, including image modes, palettes, level and span and display setting. In the live view, hold the capture key to start recording. The recording icon and countdown number displays in the interface. Press the capture key again to stop recording. The recording video will be saved automatically. In Part 6, we will introduce local albums management and Pocket Series cameras. Album is a place for saving captured files. If you would like to create a new album, you could tap the file icon to enter albums. Tap the Add icon in upper right corner to add an album. Edit the album name. Press the Take icon to save the album. If you would like to change the default album, you could tap the file icon to enter albums and select an album. Tap the More icon in upper right corner of the screen. Select Set as default saving album. Please be noted, the album icon turns to the pin folder when it is set as the default saving album and the default album appears at the top of the album list. You could find the captured image in the default album. If you would like to move some images from one album to another album, you could tap the file icon to enter albums and select albums. Tap the tick icon in the upper right corner to choose images. When images are with the checkmark icon means those images have been chosen. Tap Move and select Target Album. If you won't use some images, you could delete several files. You could tap the file icon to enter albums. Tap the tick icon in the upper right corner. When images are with the checkmark icon means those images have been chosen. Tap Delete, files will be deleted after confirmation. Please be noted. You could select all images in this album by tapping the minus icon and then tapping the checkmark icon. In the last part, let's review what we have introduced in this course. In part number 1, we've introduced general settings, including swipe down menu, supplement light, auto rotation, auto power off, time and date, and UNIT. Usually, a user needs to set up the camera on the arrival. In part number 2, temperature measurement settings are introduced, including measurement tools. There are 3 regular measurement spot tools. They are hot, cold, and center. Pocket Series cameras support up to 3 user-defined measurement spots. We've also introduced emissivity, reflected temperature, and distance. They are 3 important parameters for temperature measurement. Minimum focus distance was mentioned, by the way. In part number 3, many types of image settings are introduced. Image modes, palettes, level, and span can increase or decrease image contrast. Some display information such as time and date, parameters, and the brand logo can overlay or remove from the radiometric image. In part number 4, we've introduced capture and its settings, including 3 types of capture modes: edit before saving, macro lens, and visual image resolution. For special applications such as PCB quality inspection, a macro lens can be mounted for observation and measurement at a near distance. Macro mode settings in the camera should be turned on so that the measured temperature can be correct. In part number 5, we've introduced how to capture radiometric images, save full-size visual images, and record MP for videos. For Pocket Series cameras, capturing images and recording videos are both feasible. In part number 6, we've introduced the place for saving captured images and how to create a new albums. Change the default album, move files, and delete files. Thank you for your time with us. Taking the chance you know a lot today, please go to start the quiz and earn your credits.